Okay, my apologies, folks. Had a interruption at the door. And greetings, everybody. Keith here. Hoping everybody's having a good day, enjoying life, living life, loving life. I want to remind everybody, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. There's a PayPal link there for anybody that wants to share some love. And of course, the StreamYard link for anybody that wants to join the panel. We're going to talk about that insanity some more tonight. Insanity test is the knowledge. Again, the greatest benefit is the knowledge. So we're going to talk real quick about the McNaughton rule tonight. And before we get into that, we're going to check out 6 U.S. Code 395. Greetings. We got John with us tonight. How you doing tonight, John?
Yeah, I'm doing good, Keith.
Good.
How are you doing? You sound like you have a cold.
No, I'm winded. I had to run to the front door and take care of the dogs. They were barking and raising hell. Had somebody bring some groceries to the door. So.
Oh, I thought it was allergies. Okay.
No. We're doing good. We're doing good. Appreciate the concern. Appreciate it. Like I said, we're going to get into it with 6 U.S. Code 395, prohibition on contracts with corporate expatriates. What is we've been talking about United States business means United States citizen. So that's some kind of corporate patriot, right? I mean, they grant a nationality, but it's actually a corporate patriotism. It says the secretary may not enter into any contract with a foreign incorporated entity which is treated as an inverted domestic corporation under subsection B or any subsidiary of such an entity. For purposes, inverted domestic corporation, for purposes of this section, a foreign incorporated entity shall be treated as an inverted domestic corporation if, pursuant to a plan or a series of related transactions. Now, I want you guys to understand that the series of related transactions would be like a debit card or a credit card in your name that then turns around and gives you a receipt that says U.S. debit. Okay?
But it's really U.S. debt.
Correct. The entity completes before, on, or after November 25th, 2002, the direct or indirect acquisition of substantially all of the properties held directly or indirectly by a domestic corporation. So I acquired a birth certificate that only I can perfect the title of, or substantially all of the properties constituting a trade or business of a domestic partnership. So the partnership is the United States citizen as a United States business or domestic business or trade. Trade or business under the tax code for income tax purposes is the performance of the functions of public office. That's all it is, folks. It's all just similar shit. The expanded affiliated group, which after the acquisition includes the entity, does not have substantial business activity in the foreign country because there is no substantial activity in the foreign country in which or under the law of which the entity is created or organized. That's the United States. When compared to the total business activities of such expanded affiliated group. Remember that birth certificate chart. Vital statistics, jurisdiction. The special maritime territorial jurisdiction of an expanded affiliated group that expands beyond the borders of Washington, D.C. Treat warrants. What is a treat warrant? And this is from the tax advisor, AICPA and CIMA, using stock warrants as consideration. Tax accounting. The tax treatment of compensatory stock options issued to employees in connection with the performance of services and lending transactions is long settled. What is clear is the treatment of stock options issued in other commercial transactions. Or what is less clear is the treatment of stock options issued in other commercial transactions. These are the state's blue sky securities laws. Recent tax court litigation involving Google Inc. and America Online Inc. provides insight into how IRS views these transactions. Well, I'll be darned. Why doesn't it show it there? Maybe I looked at treatment of warrants, stock warrants. A treat warrant would be the treatment of the warrant, you would think, of course, but it doesn't define treat warrant. He only wants to bring up stock warrant, tax treatment of compensatory stock options. Huh. Well, I'll have to do some further research on that, guys. But anyway, then it goes on to talk about options, contracts to acquire stock, convertible debt instruments, treat stock as not stock. You see the insanity? The language? The term expanded affiliated group means an affiliated group as defined in section 1504 of Title 26. If Title 26 has no authority, then what authority does the definition have, folks? What authority does any of these definitions have? Trade or business, performance of functions of public office, and yet the tax code has no authority. So the next one I got is the McNaughton rule. McNaughton rule goes to the claim of insanity for defense. And it says McNaughton rule, which is sometimes spelled McNaughton, was the first legal test for criminal insanity. The test originated in 1843 in England during the case against Daniel McNaughton. McNaughton shot and killed the secretary to the prime minister, Edward Drummond, believing he was the prime minister. During his arrest, McNaughton claimed he needed to murder the prime minister because the Tories were conspiring against him and wished to murder him. At trial, McNaughton's counsel put forth a defense of insanity, offering expert testimony and other evidence in support of this. Following instructions from the judge, the jury's verdict was not guilty by reason of insanity, and McNaughton spent the rest of his life in a mental institution. After public outrage following McNaughton's verdict, a stricter test for criminal insanity was articulated. Under this McNaughton's test, all defendants are presumed to be sane unless they can prove that at the time of committing the criminal act, the defendant's state of mind caused them to not know what they were doing when they committed said act, or that they knew what they were doing but did not know that it was wrong. This goes to the literacy and the language being used. If you don't know the language is wrong, then you don't know. A common example of the second prong is if a person is acting on orders from God, rightly dividing the word of truth. They might claim me to be insane. The McNaughton rule was the standard test for insanity in both the United States and the United Kingdom. While it remains the test in about half the states, other states have instead implemented different tests, such as the irresistible impulse test, the Durham test, or the model penal code test. See also People versus William Freeman, 1847. Interesting, huh? What's your idea on insanity, John?
Well, they redefined it, right? Everyone's on thimerosal now. So I don't know. It's a chemically induced problem, and they treat it with chemicals. So
You're kind of spot on, because the psychiatric society is if not have already removed the term insane. Funny how that is, huh?
Wow, I didn't know that.
It's that equity, that diversity, equity, and inclusion. They got to include the insane, and that's what we're seeing. Civil rights movement, feminist movement, gay rights movement. Now we got the transgender, transsexual movement, and it's all about diversity, equity, and inclusion for the insane. These people are insane to be fighting for rights that you really don't have. You don't need the civil rights. Those are labor rights. You really don't need feminist rights. Those are labor rights. You really don't need gay rights. Those are labor rights. They're all unionized, dummies. If you really want to free yourself, why are you wanting to be part of a labor group that's going to enslave you?
Yep, good point. We keep doing it to ourselves.
Yeah. So let's get into the insanity, folks. Oops. What happened here? Don't tell me. I had all these lined up. And I lost them all. Something happened to YouTube. It says something went wrong. So let me try something, guys. I'm going to shut all my windows down. So we might lose this. John, if you get kicked out, come right back. Save it.
Okay.
And I'm going to shut everything down and see if I can pull all these windows back up, see if they'll refresh, because somehow something happened to YouTube. And now I lost all my YouTube links. So I'll be right back, guys. And let's, dang it, I lost all those. It's still, oops. We got some. Let's see if it's, I lost some. Let's start with this one. Oh, it says that one's gone too. Dang it, folks. I will have to reload some links here. Let me pull up some links and we'll get into it.
Yeah. My connection's breaking up too a little, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I got to close some of these windows out though real quick first. That might have been the problem. You know, I get so many windows open sometimes. Okay, let's try this again. I got some of them back.
You may remember a couple weeks ago a video going viral. In this video, we saw 5 brave young girls based out of West Virginia who took the decisive action in saying, no, we're not going to be competing against a boy. This was a middle school track and field championships. The event was shot put, but ultimately they decided to walk out without ever throwing the shot put. Ultimately, this action that they took ended up getting them banned. Yes, you heard that right. The girls got banned from girls' sports. They were banned from future competition by their school district. The boy wasn't banned. No, that would make way too much sense to ban the boy from girls' sports. Let's ban the girls. A sad, sad day, a sad world that we live in when 13, 14-year-old girls have to be the adults in the room. They have to be the ones to defend themselves. Aren't there people in place whose job it is to protect these girls? What about the coaches? What about the school district? You may remember a couple weeks ago a video going.
And that's what I was saying yesterday when it comes to this stuff, and we think we're doing good by sending our children to these schools, but it's these very people that are importing these ideals into these this educational program setup, including the sports and the entertainment and everything. And these are the people that are insisting that their dogmatic views apply to the rest of the population when they don't. And we can clearly see this in these environments because there's so many different views from the different teachers. They don't all agree. This is what's being passed on to our children. And again, remember, all the parents of those children, they don't have the same views either. That's what diversity is about. It's already there. You have to be able to accept that on your own. And generally, people in their private individual sense do, because they learn how to keep their nose in their own business. And that, again, is a problem with the public education system. It makes everything public. Everybody thinks that everybody else's business is now theirs. Okay, now we're going to look at a prosecutor's privilege.
Hardly a day passes without someone talking about this two-tiered system of justice, so I'm going to get in on the action. Recently, a client of ours was sentenced to 4 months in federal prison because she embezzled more than $125,000 from her employer. She was caught. She pled guilty quickly, paid about $35,000 in the money back at sentencing, and the judge said, well, you've accepted responsibility. I've got to make an example out of you. I need to deter others from breaking the law. You're going to prison. Let's contrast that with the former state prosecutor, the head prosecutor, Marilyn Mosby from the state of Maryland. Indicted, perjures herself, lies, goes to trial, convicted, doesn't even bother to make a statement to her judge at her sentencing, 12 months of home confinement. For clarity, I don't think Marilyn Mosby or my client should go to federal prison. It's a waste of taxpayer money. That said, if we're going to deter, it probably makes sense to send the former head prosecutor from the state of Maryland, who was convicted and didn't bother to say, I'm sorry, to prison, if we're going to deter and make an example.
Yeah, the law is for thee and not for me. This is what we have for people in these capacities that are supposed to be public servants of a public trust. They take their authority way beyond the limits and use it for their own comfort and convenience, as if though they're the ones that are supposed to benefit from this stuff in every capacity, and that it's supposed to be at our expense.
They should be advisors, Keith. Instead, they're like rectors.
Exactly. They're not supposed to be doing anything except researching and resolving issues as it goes to the record to make sure that that record is correct. This is their first fallacy. They don't make sure the record is correct right from the beginning. Everything is a presumption. How can it be correct then?
I have one.
Just some humor.
He's getting ready to go again. Oh, he's
Some
backing
people
up.
don't get it.
Oh, man.
Sometimes people don't get it.
Man, no.
Robin Pig.
Goes up.
With extra just what America should look like. This one here is, I saw a TikTok earlier. Some gal goes out to the local gyms, multiples. She doesn't have just one gym membership. Evidently, she goes to multiple gyms in her area for TikToks, and uses the machines in as a matter of her vaginal area, where she slides her vagina juices all across that bar in her TikToks. She's not lifting weights. She's sliding her vagina across the bars that other people are using to lift weights.
Well, that lowers the bar, Keith.
Well, of course. Why would you do this shit? This is funny.
I have one.
Selfishness right from the start. They learn it as kids. Amazing.
This is happening in London.
I'm going to show you some more images now. I want you to give a very strong,
Watch this.
and passionate reaction to the people you see.
Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, Ilhan Omar, Obama,
I don't know why. I think
CPJ.
yeah, they muted it out. I don't know why they did that. But the crowd was booing for all the way to
Wow.
get the road. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm losing signal. We're going to see if I can fix my signal real quick. Be right back, guys. Nope. There we go. Let's try this again.
This is happening in London.
I'm going to show you some more images now. I want you to give a very strong,
Watch this.
and passionate reaction to the people you see.
And I'll be darned if I don't lose signal again. Are you guys hearing this?
No, I can't hear it, Keith. No.
Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, Ilhan Omar,
Anyway, the crowd is booing all these people.
CPJ.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Wow. Interesting.
Very interesting. So anyway, let's see what we can do. My apologies for this bad shit today. Oops. Get to the right one, next one here. Get my screen back up. There we go. Okay. Make sure we're set. We are set.
It's hard to take the left seriously.
And then spent the next 4 years saying he was illegitimate. He was an illegitimate president.
Okay, well, first of all, she didn't say he was an illegitimate.
Yes, she did.
You tell me exactly what she said.
She said those exact words repeatedly.
I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president.
So again, when we have news reporters up there running their mouths, or interviewers running their mouths, journalists running their mouths that don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and we've got mass portions of the population listening to these people and believing what they say without knowing the truth. So it's important to have these discussions so we can point these idiots out, making stupid comments, idiotic comments, insane comments when the truth is out there. Is just, it's got to be pointed out. We gotta stop letting the masses follow the lies.
Okay. I mean, she conceded the election. Whether you
okay, didn't have anything to rebut against it. So then he goes to, okay, she conceded the election, like she would have won otherwise. No, that's why you concede, is because the other party won't concede. So listen to what he says.
You're interpreting her disappointment at losing it as the same thing as Trump not conceding it. I don't know if that's where you're getting it from. But again, it's a tremendous false equivalency.
No, that is the equivalency. One party doesn't concede, the other one does.
This is why sometimes it's hard to.
Pathetic. Here's a good one. This is one of the reasons we've got to get bold about this stuff. Stopping the lies.
Driving around the sheriff's office.
Oh, I don't answer questions.
You don't?
No, sir.
So you're loitering about jail then?
Loitering?
Yeah.
On public property?
Loitering around the jail? You keep driving around?
On the streets?
Yeah. Following people?
Driving's illegal? Who am I
following people?
Who am I?
You tell me.
I don't answer questions.
Oh, you don't?
No, sir.
Okay. All right.
Anything else I can do for you?
I don't know. You're the one who came here.
Right.
Right. For what purpose?
I don't answer questions.
You don't?
No, sir.
But you ask a lot, right?
Well, I might ask some.
You want to take pictures of my daughter? Huh? Put them on your phone? Huh? Record it. Turn the volume up. I can't wait to tell the judge that.
Okay. All right.
See the audacity of these people. What the hell? The audacity of these people to bring about the topic as if though we're perverts. This goes to the same thing with this trespass over here at this church next door to me, this Christian school, where they're supposedly telling me I can't be on their property because they have some kind of fear that I might assault or molest one of their children. Your insane fears is fear-mongering, and you try to use it to your advantage by making other people look like bad people through your false projections, bearing false witness by implications and presumptions. It needs to stop.
All right, you tell him whatever you need to tell him. You mad?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
He's mad because somebody's taking pictures. Crying out loud, before the invention of cameras, what did people get mad about? Quit staring at me. Fuck off, you insane fucks.
Yeah, you be mad then.
Why are you driving around the sheriff's office?
Oh, I don't answer.
Why are you driving around the sheriff's office? How does he know he's driving, particularly if he's sitting there parked? Shouldn't it be, why are you parked at the sheriff's office? He's no longer driving. So his question is an implication that he was driving. Babylonian language. These people are idiots. The next one, this one's funny. Democrats get trolled.
As secretary, how many words per minute could you type? And how does President Obama like his coffee? Like himself? Weak?
You know, Zach, those are really out-of-date questions.
Fine, lose. So you're going to lead the Civil War?
No, I wouldn't take up arms. I think that might be a little extreme.
Oh, right. Because you were saying before we were rolling that you wanted to take away everyone's guns. Very cool. Cool.
I really regret doing this.
Well, this has been a lot of fun, Mrs. Clinton. We should stay in touch. What's the best way to reach you? Email?
I'd say he should do this for Biden, although in fairness, I don't even know if Biden would understand he was being trolled. Although maybe that would make it.
As secretary, how many words per minute could you type?
That's the funny one. As secretary, how many words can you type? Absolutely, athletes. One doesn't make anyone do anything. But projection is such a sickness. This is the popularity contest where it's been projected that the more popular you are, the better off you are. That's listening to a messenger and idolizing that name of yourself. Self-centered, egotistic narcissism.
This man is funny.
He's all about disinformation. Pilots come in, he said, I used to fly a plane. Truckers come in, I used to drive a truck. People come in from Minnesota, I used to live in Minnesota. Right? He is so full of shit, this guy. Terrible.
I used to drive an 18-wheeler.
I used to drive a tractor trailer.
Oh, awesome. I was sort of raised in the Puerto Rican community. I had a very close relationship with the Greek American community, for real. I am Joe Bidenopoulos. I grew up in a heavily Irish Catholic community in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and a heavily Italian Polish community. When I say I got raised in the black church, he knows I'm not kidding. As a student of the Persian culture, I grew up feeling self-conscious. My name didn't end in an S-K-I. I was raised in a neighborhood where I felt self-conscious. My name didn't end in O.
This man is funny.
He's all
Do you see the distinct difference there? Joe Biden comes across as such a racist. As if though he should be fitting in with all those classes because somehow, somewhere along the line, he was in one of those communities. But with as many of the different communities he was evidently in, he couldn't have been there very long. Particularly as a politician. In my opinion, of course.
Yeah, but Trump tries to leak out the truth, though.
What do you do for a living?
Put a choke chain on that hoe and yank that.
Right.
We're back at this huge river cave.
See if we can find one.
To reduce the salary of Karine Jean-Pierre, the White House press secretary, to $1. Mr. Speaker, during Ms. Jean-Pierre's tenure as press secretary, she has repeatedly lied to the American people and acted in a condescending manner toward reporters and also violated the Hatch Act. Just to name a few of her lies, Ms. Jean-Pierre has claimed, 1, illegal immigration is down under the Biden administration. She also claimed nobody is just walking in across the southern border. She also claimed that the 2016 election was stolen. She also claimed that Governor Brian Kemp stole the 2018 governor's race from Stacey Abrams. She also claimed that Biden's stimulus bill did not impact inflation. She also claimed that critical race theory, or its equivalent, isn't being taught in our schools. She also claimed that nobody has done more for the southern border, or our border in general, than Joe Biden. How can somebody with such a history of deceit continue to offer an amendment to reduce the
$1. Oh, what a rip. What a rip. One more Joe Biden one, and then
It blows my mind that Joe says things like this and people still vote for him.
By the way, the same stable genius that said the biggest problem we had in the Revolutionary War is we didn't have enough airports.
In the Revolutionary War, we didn't have enough airports. The stable of Jesus. What the hell does all this have to do? He just tried to connect 4 or 5 different points in one sentence, and it doesn't make a goddamn bit of sense. This is what they got for the president. And he says this publicly.
Whoa.
What? What are you talking about, man?
It blows my mind that Joe says things like this and people still vote for him.
By the way, the same stable genius that said the biggest problem we had in the Revolutionary War is we didn't have enough airports.
Gotta listen to that again, folks.
Whoa.
What? What are you talking about, man?
It blows my mind that Joe says things like this and people still vote for him.
By the way, the same stable genius that said the biggest problem we had in the Revolutionary War is we didn't have enough airports. Whoa.
See how he just did the whoa and then started doing the Christian cross thing? It's like all of a sudden he realized he said something fucking totally stupid, as if though he'd been overtaken by idiocy. This is what we got, folks. If you think this is a strong nation, I ask you to look at the leaders of that nation and understand that it's a corporate nation. It has to do with corporate patriotism, not the Father which art in heaven. There is but one Father which art in heaven, and everybody seems to be paying tribute to the patronymical father of a nation known as a corporation in abrogation. Anyway, the insanity is deep. McNaughton rule applies if you deem yourself incompetent and just play the idiot. And that's what we've got for a president.
Yeah, but see, Trump is trying to tell us the truth as little as he can.
Yeah.
Remember 3 weeks ago, he said, right before he got convicted, he said, the charges are rigged. The whole thing is rigged.
Yeah.
Those are
Well, he said that years back. Yeah, he said that years back in that interview with Hillary Clinton and admitted it. And that's an admission that you know you're playing a dirty game and that you're willing to suffer the consequences. I give him kudos for that. You know, he's playing a dirty game against a lot of people, and he's willing to suffer the consequences because he knows a lot of those people can come after him, yet he's still doing it. He's kind of like me. Fuck you. You ain't my daddy. Come get some. I kind of like that in a guy. I'm not saying I vote for him for president because I've never registered to vote and wouldn't do such. But I'd certainly have him on my side. Anyway, you got anything on the way out, brother?
Nope. I'll see you later.
All right. I'll be back at 9 o'clock with the last part of the entire civil service, the exception, part 3. So we'll see everybody then. And in the meantime, you guys know me. I love you, but I don't give a rat's ass whether you love me back. So may God bless you and have a good night. We'll see everybody next time. Bye now.
out.